They say time moves differently in this business. We measure our lives in WrestleMania moments, and where were you when the bell rang? But tonight, the math of the squared circle is hitting a little closer to home. In November 2002, a steel structure was lowered over a ring in Madison Square Garden for the very first time. It was built to end careers. It was built for legends. 2 years later, in April 2004, a kid named Javon Evans was born into this world.
Think about that.
This Sunday in Chicago, the youngest man in the match is stepping into a cage that is literally 2 years older than he is. We aren't just looking at a match. We are looking at the bridge between the foundation of the past and the explosive, cinematic future of the new era. This is Ava, and on behalf of cricket, this is the Sox Sorority Podcast. Today, we are breaking down the road to Chicago, the audibles, the stale, heels, and the cinematic collision of two eras when Becky Lynch and AJ Lee finally share the same sky. Grab your coffee. Keep your feet flat. We're going inside the Elimination Chamber, one pod at a time.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Yeah. So today we are packing our bags and we are heading to the Windy City.
Chicago,
right. But we aren't going there for the deep dish pizza or, the architecture.
as great as those are.
Right, as great as they are. But no, we are stepping inside one of the most physically imposing and honestly structurally terrifying creations in the history of sports entertainment.
Oh, absolutely.
We are talking about the Elimination Chamber.
And imposing might actually be an understatement here.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we are on the road to WrestleMania 42 right now.
Right.
And the chamber is traditionally that final brutal checkpoint. It's where dreams either get completely solidified or they just get smashed against a steel grate.
It really is the last hurdle before the big show in Las Vegas.
Exactly.
But, before we get into who is fighting who or the drama with the championships and all that.
And there is a lot of drama.
There is so much drama, but I have to share this statistic first. I found this in our source material, and it completely broke my brain.
Oh, really?
Lay it on me.
It literally rewired how I view this entire event. Okay, so the Elimination Chamber concept.
The match itself?
Yeah, the match itself was first introduced way back in November 2002.
Right. Survivor Series.
Survivor Series at Madison Square Garden.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, that whole classic era.
Exactly. So the structure has been around for a long time. Now, if you look at the entrance for the men's chamber match taking place this Sunday, one of the participants is the young, high-flying phenom Javon Evans.
He has been incredible on the main roster lately, just explosive.
He has been. But here's the kicker.
Okay.
Javon Evans was born in 2004.
Wait.
Yep.
Let me do the math there. 2002 versus 2004.
You see where I'm going with this?
The steel cage is literally 2 years older than the human being trying to survive inside it.
It is. The structure is older than the entrant.
That is absolutely wild.
Blows my mind.
It really frames the narrative for this Sunday perfectly, though, doesn't it?
It does, because it's not just a wrestling match anymore. It is a literal collision of timelines.
Right. You have this foundation of the past.
Exactly. The veterans who were actually around when the cage was invented.
Yeah.
And they are going head-to-head with this new explosive future.
The new era.
Yeah, this new era that grew up watching this exact structure on TV while they were eating their cereal.
Precisely. It is a generational war inside a torture chamber.
It really is.
And to help us navigate this collision, we have pulled together a massive stack of materials for you today.
It's a really good stack.
Yeah, we have analysis from Cricket Fox.
From the Sox Sorority Podcast.
Right. And we also have the actual technical schematics on the cage itself.
Which is fascinating because the cage has changed, by the way.
We will definitely get into that. And finally, we have some very messy and very interesting backstage reports.
Oh, the rumor mill is churning.
Swirling. Regarding winners' injuries, last-minute creative changes.
So our mission today is really to connect all those dots for you.
Right.
We need to unpack the anatomy of the beast first.
The cage?
Because the specs are just staggering.
Right.
Then we need to break down that generational clash in the men's bracket.
And the women's title picture, too.
Yeah, which is getting incredibly heated.
Yeah.
And then finally, we absolutely have to talk about the mystery crate.
The mystery crate. When I saw that in the notes, I thought it was a typo.
I know. But it is not a typo. It is a physical crate sitting in Chicago right now, and it is driving the internet entirely crazy.
I cannot wait to get to that. But let's start with the beast itself.
The chamber.
Because on television, they use all these marketing buzzwords, right? Satan's structure, the demonic structure.
Forgiving steel.
Exactly. And it is so easy to just tune that out as just wrestling hype.
Sure.
But when you actually look at the architectural specifications we have here, it is genuinely terrifying.
It is. And I think it's important for you to understand that the beast has evolved.
How so?
Well, if you remember the chamber from back in 2002 or even around 2015,
Yeah.
you probably remember a circular, slightly lower cage with those really bulky curved pods.
Right, the black grate on the outside.
Yeah. But in 2017, the WWE did a massive redesign.
What was the primary change there?
Verticality. They radically increased the height of the whole thing.
How much higher did they go?
So the old structure was about 16 feet high.
Okay.
The current version that we will see Sunday stands 26 feet tall.
26 feet.
Yeah. Roughly 8 meters for our international listeners.
That is a massive jump. I mean, why go that much higher? Was it just so it looked better on the wide camera shots?
Well, aesthetics are part of it, sure, but it was actually a functional choice driven by the talent.
Interesting.
Yeah, the source material points this out specifically. They needed more vertical space to allow for cinematic aerial moves.
Cinematic.
Right, because the athletes were getting faster. Yeah, they were jumping higher and doing way more dives off the top of the pods.
Right.
In the old cage, they were practically hitting their heads on the truss when they jumped.
So the architecture of the prison was literally altered to fit the athleticism of the inmates.
In a way, yeah. They raised the ceiling so people could jump off it, which, when you think about it, just raises the stakes entirely.
Because gravity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Falling from 16 feet is bad. Falling from 6 feet is a car crash.
And it is not just the height. It is the sheer mass of the thing. I'm looking at the reports here, and they list the structure's weight at 10 tons.
10 tons. Over 9,000 kilograms of steel hanging right over the ring.
Just to put that in perspective for you, that is heavier than an adult African elephant.
It's heavier than a school bus.
A school bus. And it's all held together by 2 miles of heavy chain link.
2 miles.
Yeah.
3.2 kilometers of chain.
But you know, the part that always makes me wince isn't the chain or the height, really.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the floor.
Ah, the danger zone.
Right. Because in a normal wrestling ring, if you get thrown to the outside, you land on those thin black mats.
Yeah, over the concrete.
Underneath is concrete, sure, but there's a little bit of foam. It hurts, but there is some absorption there.
Right.
But inside the chamber...
There's zero absorption. None.
Not at all.
The area between the ring ropes and the cage wall platform, where a massive amount of the fighting actually happens,
Yeah.
it is just steel grating. It's built level with the ring canvas so they can walk out there seamlessly, but it has absolutely no give.
So when we see wrestlers taking bumps out there...
Falling or getting slammed?
They are landing on solid steel.
Exactly. And the sources highlight this as traditionally the most painful element of the entire match.
I can imagine.
You could fake a punch.
Yeah.
You can perform a grapple safely, but gravity's gravity. Slamming your spine into a steel grate leaves a mark that lasts for weeks.
It has to change the psychology of the match, right?
Yeah.
You are not just fighting the opponent, you are actively avoiding the floor.
Absolutely. It limits what you can do, and it increases the price you pay for doing it.
So for anyone who hasn't seen a chamber match in a while, or maybe this is your very first one, let's just quickly refresh the rules.
Good idea.
How do you actually win this thing?
Well, it's a war of attrition. You have 6 competitors in the match total. 2 of them start the match in the ring going one-on-one.
And the others?
The other 4 are locked in these plexiglass pods at the 4 corners of the structure.
And they always market that glass as bulletproof, right?
Oh, do. It's extremely thick polycarbonate.
Right.
Then every 5 minutes, though, the producers sometimes shave that down to 4 minutes to keep the broadcast pacing up.
Sure, keep the action moving.
Exactly. A pod opens at random and a fresh wrestler enters the fight.
So if you are one of the first 2 guys in there, you are fighting for roughly 25 to 30 minutes.
At least. And the only way to eliminate someone is via pinfall or submission.
No countouts?
No countouts, no disqualifications.
Yeah.
Once you're pinned, you leave the cage. The last person standing wins.
And the prize this year is massive.
Golden ticket.
Yeah.
The winners of the men's and women's matches punch their ticket directly to the main event of WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas.
Okay, so we have the 10-ton trap established. Let's talk about the men daring enough to step into it.
Let's do it.
Because this is where that new era versus foundation of the past theme really comes alive.
It is the defining story of the match, honestly. On one side, you have the establishment.
The veterans.
Right. You have Randy Orton, who has seemingly been in the WWE since the dawn of time. He knows every inch of that ring.
Every trick in the book.
Yeah. You have Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. He is basically the face of the company right now.
And LA Knight.
And LA Knight, who brings that real old-school attitude.
So these are guys who really know the pacing. They know the psychology of a match like this.
Exactly. And then on the other side, you have the disruptors, the explosive future.
The youth movement.
Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Jey Uso.
With Javon Evans being the one who is literally younger than the cage itself.
Right. And that really matters here. It's not just a fun fact.
How so?
Because the chamber requires a completely different kind of cardio and spatial awareness.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the source material notes that while Evans and Trick Williams are incredible athletes, I mean, maybe the most athletic guys in the match,
They are phenomenal.
they're walking into a buzzsaw.
Because they don't know the environment.
The exact quote from the analysis is, I can see why they put Javon and Trick in the chamber, but they have no idea what is coming.
Oh. It's that experience gap.
Exactly.
It's knowing how to fall on the grate versus just guessing how to fall on the grate.
Which is a painful guessing game. And usually when we analyze these matches, we look at momentum, right?
Yeah.
We look at who won last week on TV.
Sure, the storyline buildup.
But this year, the analysis is entirely dominated by the backstage rumor mill.
Right. This is fascinating stuff.
Because apparently the script is being rewritten as we speak.
This is about Bronson Reed.
Yes. This is such an interesting peek behind the curtain.
What happened?
According to the reports from Cricket Fox, the original plan, what they call the pencil plan, was for Bronson Reed to win this entire match.
Wow. That would have been huge. I mean, Bronson Reed is a monster. He has been on an absolute tear lately.
He has. And winning the chamber would have fully cemented him as a true main event player.
So what changed?
Well, this business is incredibly physical. Reality intervened.
Injuries.
Yeah, reports indicate Reed suffered a torn bicep recently.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That is a brutal injury. A torn bicep takes months.
It does. So he is officially out, and the writers have to call an audible.
And for anyone not familiar with American football terms, an audible means just changing the play at the line of scrimmage, right? Because the defense shifted.
Exactly. You change the plan at the very last second.
So the question becomes, if the monster Bronson Reed was supposed to win, who takes his spot, who gets the rocket strapped to their back now?
Well, the current chatter suggests the plan has shifted to main event Jey Uso.
Oh, wow, Jey Uso. I mean, he has been incredibly popular.
He is arguably the most popular guy on the roster.
The whole Yeet movement is massive right now.
Totally.
And him challenging Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania makes sense commercially. The crowd just loves him.
It does make sense. It is a very safe, very profitable pivot.
Yeah.
But there's a counter-narrative in the notes that I find super fascinating.
Oh.
The source author, despite fully acknowledging the Jey Uso rumors, is actually sticking to a personal prediction of Cody Rhodes winning.
Wait, really? Cody winning the chamber.
Yep.
But isn't the rumor that Drew McIntyre might face Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania? Or even The Rock? Why go back to Cody?
Because the rumor the source is pointing to is actually a triple threat match.
Oh.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre defending the title against both Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes.
Wow, that changes the complexion entirely. A triple threat at WrestleMania.
It solves a lot of narrative problems, actually.
Right.
And think about the storytelling potential.
Right.
The source uses that word cinematic again here. Just imagine the visual. Cody Rhodes wins the chamber.
Okay.
He is battered. He is broken. He is barely standing in the middle of all of that steel
Yeah.
and watching from a monitor or perhaps even standing out on the ramp.
He's the champion, Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
Knowing he can't stop what is coming. Like, he thought he was completely done with Cody, but here he comes again.
Exactly. It creates a tension that a simple one-on-one match challenge might not have right now. It fits that cinematic requirement that WWE seems to be heavily prioritizing lately. They want movies now, not just matches.
It really does feel that way. It seems like the days of just two guys fighting for a belt because they want the winner's purse are totally gone.
Now it has to be a saga.
A soap opera with concussions.
That is a very good way to put it.
Well, let's pivot over to the women's chamber match, because the field here is arguably just as stacked as the men's.
It really is. You have Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka Kiana James, and Raquel.
Incredible lineup.
And the winner gets the very daunting task of facing Jade Cargill at WrestleMania.
Right. And I want to zoom in on Rhea Ripley for a second, because the notes point out something really interesting about her career arc specifically tied to this kind of event.
Yeah, it is a really great observation of long-term character growth.
What does the source say?
The source compares Rhea's current status to when she first broke out in the Mae Young Classic years ago.
Right, I remember that.
Back then, she was the young contender, the smiling rookie who is just happy to be there.
Very similar to where Javon Evans is right now, actually.
Exactly. It's a great parallel. But now
She's the veteran.
she has completely evolved into the veteran gatekeeper. She basically anchors the entire match.
She has that presence.
The source calls it a cinematic presence. When she stands in the pod waiting to come out, she just looks like the final boss of a video game.
So if she is the final boss, does she win?
Well, the heart says yes.
Because Rhea is a massive star.
Exactly. But the head says no.
Really?
Yeah, the source author admits they personally want Rhea to win. But looking at the booking patterns, reading the tea leaves, so to speak, the feeling is that Raquel is actually going to get the push here.
Raquel versus Jade Cargill at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That is a massive amount of power in one ring.
It's a collision of absolute titans. It is King Kong versus Godzilla.
It is.
And WWE loves spectacle. Two women of that stature colliding on the biggest stage is the very definition of spectacle.
But before we lock that prediction in completely, the analysis throws a little bit of a curveball.
Oh, yeah, Kiana James.
Keep an eye on Kiana James.
The businesswoman.
Why her? She seems like the clear underdog in a cage with Raquel and Rhea.
She is the underdog.
Yeah.
But she's identified in the notes as the sleeper pick.
How so?
Well, in a match like the Chamber, where everyone is just physically destroying each other,
Right.
sometimes the person who hides in the corner the longest, or simply plays it the smartest, manages to steal the win.
That is very true. History definitely shows the loud ones usually get eliminated first. The opportunist waits.
Exactly. So she is the dark horse.
Okay, now stepping outside the cage for a moment, the undercard for the Chicago event is fascinating.
It's a really strong card.
And there is one name that just jumps off the page for me. It's a name we literally haven't seen on a match card in a decade.
AJ Lee.
AJ Lee is back.
It is wild.
This is her first match in 10 years.
10 years. I mean, that is an entire lifetime in this industry. Whole careers have started, peaked, and finished in the time she's been away.
And she is facing Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
This feels like a pure dream match. The kind of thing people fantasy booked in video games for years.
It totally does. And the dynamic is just perfect. You have Becky Lynch, who the source notes has been playing a heel role lately.
A villain.
Right. But the source also suggests that heel run is getting a bit stale.
Yeah, the audience is definitely ready for a change.
So you take the stale villain and you put her against the returning hero, the legend AJ Lee.
And you do it in Chicago.
Oh, man. Chicago crowds are notoriously loud.
And AJ Lee is practically royalty in that city.
They are going to go nuclear.
The expectation across the board is that this will be the match of the night. It is another true collision of eras.
You have two of the best resumes in the history of women's wrestling finally overlapping.
The man versus the woman who essentially started the Divas Revolution.
So what is the read on the outcome here? Does AJ Lee walk in after a decade on the couch and just win gold immediately?
The insight from the source here is really strategic. They speculate on exactly how long AJ is going to be around. Is this just a one-off for a big paycheck? Is it a short 3-month run?
Right.
Because if she is not staying, you probably don't put the belt on her.
That makes sense from a business standpoint. Unless...
Unless the plan is for her to actually win at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
If she loses here in Chicago, maybe Becky cheats to win. It sets up a massive redemption arc for Vegas.
Build the tension.
Right. But regardless of who actually gets the 3 count,
Yeah.
just seeing AJ Lee bump and run the ropes again is going to be surreal.
It really is. And speaking of surreal atmospheres in Chicago...
We cannot talk about this city without talking about CM Punk.
No, we can't. The Second City Saint. You literally can't separate the two.
If there is a major show in Chicago, Punk is the center of gravity. Period.
And he is going to war with Finn Balor for the heavyweight title.
Yes, he is.
Now, standard wrestling logic says CM Punk in Chicago. He wins. Guaranteed.
Yep.
You send the hometown crowd home happy.
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
That is wrestling booking 101. But the source points in a very different direction.
Really?
Yeah. The prediction here is actually for Finn Balor to get the win.
Betting against Punk in his hometown, that seems incredibly risky. Why would they do that?
It comes down to the WrestleMania roadmap again. The report suggests the main event for WrestleMania is already locked in completely.
What is it?
Roman Reigns versus CM Punk.
Ah.
Yeah.
So Punk doesn't actually need this specific title to get to the main event. He has already got the date with Destiny set.
Precisely. He is already a made man. But for Finn Balor,
It needs this.
he absolutely needs this. The source mentions they need to finish the Judgment Day storyline for good.
Because that faction has been running Raw for a very long time.
A very long time. Giving Finn a massive clean win over Punk in Chicago solidifies him as a top-tier threat.
And it closes that chapter with a bang.
Exactly. It frees Punk up to chase Roman without the baggage of holding the title, and it elevates Finn without really hurting Punk's credibility too much.
Because, well, it's Punk.
Right. It is just smart booking. It is protecting your assets while aggressively moving the story forward.
Even if the Chicago crowd boos the finish out of the building.
Oh, they will definitely boo. But it is the right move.
There is one more grudge match on the card that seems to be fueled by pure disrespect.
Gunther versus Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
This one is interesting because of the meta-narrative going on. The source mentions a real fatigue regarding Gunther's recent storylines.
Specifically regarding his feud with AJ Styles, right?
Yes. Apparently, the storyline of Gunther constantly disrespecting legends, calling them old, washed up, saying they don't belong in his ring.
It is worn thin.
It is worn very thin for some viewers. The source says it is frankly getting really old.
So Dragon Lee is stepping up as the Avenger here.
He is. He attacked Gunther on Raw as direct retaliation. The underlying theme here is accountability.
Nice.
The source phrases it as Gunther finally being held responsible for his actions and words.
It is really good to see Dragon Lee in that kind of enforcer role. He is usually just the high flyer, the guy who does the cool flips, but this actually gives him some real grit.
It does. And it circles back to that core theme of respect we have seen all over this card. Young versus old, respect versus disrespect.
It is very consistent storytelling.
It is.
Okay, so we have the 10-ton cage. We have the epic return of AJ Lee, the Punk and Balor war.
Yeah.
But we have to address the elephant in the room, or rather, the box in the room.
The mystery crate.
This sounds like something straight out of a Saturday morning cartoon. A mystery crate has been shipped to Chicago.
Explicitly mentioned in the report,
Yeah.
a literal physical wooden crate has been delivered to the arena.
And nobody knows what is inside it.
Or who is inside it?
That is the big question. Is it a person? Is it a weapon? Is it just a prop for a specific entrance?
That is the beauty of it, though, right? We live in an age of constant internet spoilers.
We knew about Bronson Reed's torn bicep almost immediately.
Exactly. We know about the WrestleMania main event plans months in advance. But a physical mystery crate sitting in a hallway.
It is strangely refreshing.
It is old school carnival theatrics.
It works. I am genuinely curious. Is it a returning superstar? A brand new debut?
Or maybe it is completely empty and just a brilliant mind game to get people talking.
Well, if so, it worked because we are definitely talking about it.
We certainly are.
So let's try to synthesize all of this. We are looking at an event this Sunday that is much, much more than just a few matches in a cage.
It is a massive turning point. We have a structure that has physically evolved, taller, harder, more cinematic.
To accommodate a generation of wrestlers who take risks we have never seen before.
Exactly. We have that clear, profound clash between the foundation of the past, like Orton and Rhodes.
And a new era that is literally younger than the match concept itself.
We have the backstage chaos with real-life injuries, forcing the writers to completely change the script from Bronson Reed to potentially Jey Uso or Cody Rhodes.
And overshadowing all of it is WrestleMania 42. Every single punch thrown this Sunday is really about securing a spot in Las Vegas.
It is shaping up to be a very chaotic night. And, going through all these reports, a pretty provocative thought struck me.
Oh, yeah? What is that?
We talk so much about cinematic wrestling now.
Yeah.
That word cinematic came up 4 or 5 times just in our source material today. We look for the perfect story, the perfect camera angle, the perfect aerial move off a 26-foot ceiling.
We want it to look like a blockbuster movie.
We want the spectacle. But then you have a reality check like Bronson Reed actually tearing a bicep. Real human fragility.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, in an era where match outcomes are pivoting on these real-life injuries and backstage audibles?
How much does the spectacle of a 10-ton structure actually change the storytelling?
Exactly. Is the cage actually the danger? Or is it just a massive steel backdrop for a torch passing that is going to happen anyway?
Wow, that is a great question.
Is the risk real, or is it just set dressing for the cinema?
Is it a true fight, or is it just a very painful set? Definitely something to chew on while you watch bodies fly onto steel platforms this Sunday.
Try not to wince too hard.
No promises there. That is all for this DeZuma dive into Elimination Chamber 2026. Enjoy the show, everyone.
See you next time.
So, as we look toward Chicago, remember the math. This Saturday, a 21-year-old kid named Javon Evans walks into a cage that has existed since he was just a heartbeat. He's stepping onto steel that was laid down before he even drew his first breath. It's the ultimate reminder that while the players change, the structure and the legacy remains. We're heading into a building that hasn't seen a WWE ring in 32 years. From the shadows of the United Center to the bright neon lights of Las Vegas and WrestleMania 42, the road is paved with steel, and it's about to get very, very loud. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. I know life can get messy, and sometimes we just need to keep our feet flat and focus on that one thing that grounds us. This is Ava, and on behalf of Cricket, this has been the Sox Sorority Podcast. For more deep dives and my latest reflections, make sure you're following me over at Corner Coffee with Cricket. Good luck to the young OG, good luck to AJ Lee in her homecoming, and to all of you, stay cinematic. I'll see you on the other side of the chamber.